Hi, hello, friends. Welcome back to Night Court Narrative. I am Elvish. I hope y'all are doing very well. Um, Today we are discussing Dating After the End of the World. This is by Geneva Rose. I was not expecting this book, by the way. A little disclaimer, a little behind the scenes, if we will. Um, I was at Target, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have not been doing very well health-wise lately, so that's kind of why videos have been missing or not really there. Um, so it's been a long time since I've been out and about, but I actually felt really good one day and I was like, I am gonna go to Target, and we made a whole day out of it. I ended up going to my boyfriend's job. We ended up doing some work there and I helped him do some stuff there. And then we ended up going to Target and I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at the book section. It's been such a long time since I've been out in public like that. So I ended up going to the book section and I couldn't, there were so many books. Like, he was so adamant about it too. He was like, do you not find a book you liked? And I was like, dude, like, I found so many that I want. And he was like, well, go buy one. And I was like, I don't know which one. So I asked him, I was like, hey, how about this? In this whole aisle here, just choose one book that you think looks interesting, and that is my next read. 100%, I'm buying it. And he came across this book and he read the back. Obviously, you guys know I do not read the synopsis of books at all. So he ended up reading the back for me. He didn't tell me what it was, but he ended up just saying, like, okay, this mixes what you like, this mixes what I like. Go ahead, read it, tell me all about it. So I'm just like, bliss. So I ended up getting this book. I did end up starting it that night. Oh, I have a nose itch. Hold on. Oh. I ended up starting it that night. I was in the middle of making dinner and I was waiting for something to get done. So I started the book. I ended up finishing it late afternoon after the next day. And it was so good. I did end up giving this a 5-star rating. Was it a 10 out of 10 book? No. However, if you guys know anything about Dawn of the Dead, now we're going back maybe like 20 years now. If you guys know the movie Dawn of the Dead, kind of where it's like a zombie movie, they're stuck in the mall and they have to like fend for themselves and survive. That was the exact vibe of this book, but add enemies to lovers to it. It was amazing. I really, really loved it. I liked the first chapter being all about when Casey was a little girl. I believe 12, 13 years old. She was a little girl. We got to see kind of into her life and how she thought about everything. It did also give me like Carl Dungeon Crawler vibes a little bit. I really, really, really loved... I almost formed a thought there for a second. Did y'all see that? It was gone. It was gone as soon as it showed up. No, okay, Casey has a husband or a fiance. I don't even remember his name. He is not noteworthy in this book, but he ends up fucking leaving her to dead. Like, the end of the world comes, zombies start breaking out, and he quite literally fucking just dips. He just leaves her like it's absolutely nothing. So she's just like, oh, what the fuck? So she ends up going back to her dad's house. This is where, she grew up. She ended up helping like her entire teenage years. She made the house a safe haven, a bunker. And yeah, she ended up coming back. Obviously, all of her work as a kid paid off because now they have a place to survive. And long behold, her childhood bully is there. He is a hunk of a man. He's a hunk. And, he's now like a war vet. He has changed his ways. He's come so far. There's so much development that happened with him behind the scenes that we didn't even get to see, and he is a decent human being now. He is actually her father's best friend, which is a little kind of weird. You know, you have a 30-year-old best friends with a 60-year-old. A little bit weird. Not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying with it being like, if that was my daughter's childhood bully, I would not be friends with him. You know? Like, it's weird. But they end up being friends. He does end up becoming the four of the bunch. Any, like, divergent people here. He ends up becoming, like, the four of the group. And obviously, him and Casey go back and forth a lot because she's still so overly upset at the fact that, you know, he's here after bullying her for so many years, making her life absolutely miserable. But they do end up coming to terms with it. They end up getting along. They end up, you know, boinking, if you know what I mean. And it is a very, very cute book. You know, we get a little bit of family moment between her and her dad. They end up duking it out a little bit. Apologies are said, feelings are said, and everyone feels some sort of way about it. But I really did like it. I enjoyed this book so much. My only complaint about the book, even though I did give it 5 stars, my only complaint about the book, I do wish this book was a little bit more post-apocalyptic heavy than it was romance heavy. And I understand this is a romance book. I get that. But I do wish it was a little bit more post-apocalyptic. I wish we got to see a little bit more of the zombies and a little bit more of the fighting, because in this book too we have looters, which I think they call them what did they call them, fires something, whatever, I don't care. They have looters, they have guys with guns that come in and steal shit and kill just for the fun of it. So that's definitely something that's really interesting, but I kind of wish I got to see a little bit more about that, and I kind of wish I got to see a little bit more of the zombies and the hardships that came with that. Instead, in my personal opinion, we got maybe like 30% apocalyptic shit and maybe 70% romance, which is fine. It was very well written. It was very, very well written to the point where I didn't mind, but I do think to make this book a little bit more memorable, I would have liked a little bit more end of the world shit rather than just pure poking. Wink, you know? But that's just my thoughts. I really, really did like the world that this set up. It kind of felt like, if we're having to compare it to like Walking Dead or something, it reminds me of the season where they were in the prison. It was very much like that vibe. It was really, really nice. It was cool to kind of see. Also, no, you know what? Come to think of it, they did kind of explain it a little bit, but there are different types. There are the zombies that are just, oh, blood, brains, blah. And then there are the zombies where they're just like confused. They have no brains. They have no memories. They don't know what's going on. So they just like aimlessly walk. We did find out that one of the guys in there became, I think it's like the gnomes is what they call them, like the no brain, whatever. They went from being a gnome to being an actual zombie, and I understand they kind of touched on it very, very, very vaguely, but I kind of wish we would have got to see a little bit more of the transformation between a gnome and a normal zombie. I think that would have been so killer. That would have been like 10 out of 10 book of the year for me, but unfortunately we don't, and that is okay. I'm not saying that ruined the book any way, shape, or form. I do kind of wish we just got to see a little bit more of the apocalyptic thing. I feel like that would have really opened up the floor for so many great opportunities and possibly even sequels, if ever. But no, I really, really enjoyed it. There really wasn't any spice in this book. I think there was some spice, but it was very minimal. I do think the book falls heavily around the banter and the hatred between the two. I believe you get, like, let's say 60% of the book is the banter between them, and the final maybe like 40% is the actual romance. So we do go and get like more banter than anything, and then it's heavy on the romance side. We do get a side couple, we have side marriage, we have it was cute. I really like it. This is definitely a book that I'm going to reread here fairly soon. I'm definitely going to reread it maybe a few times this year. I really liked it that much. Um so yeah. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to tell you, but there's really not. There is a plot twist that happens in this book, but you guys know whenever I love a book so much, I don't tell you guys the plot twist because I want you to go and experience it for yourself. But this one was really good. It was actually really, really good. I wish we got more, but I think the only reason why I wish we had more is because I did love the book as much as I did. I wish we got more, but that is okay. Have you guys read this book? What did you guys think about it? And are you going to read this book? I don't know. Let me know, because I am so invested, and like I said, I will definitely be rereading this book, and I'm planning on reading a few of her other books here soon, because I just think there's only been one book of hers that I'm like, but I really think her writing is so unique, and she's definitely one to keep an eye out for. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic day, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about this book, and yeah, I will see you guys next video. Bye.